Guys, what's up? It's DC Dynamic Cleaning. Just saying good morning to everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day. We're heading out into the field right now. Got a couple jobs lined up, a couple estimates. Just gonna go and get my coffee on. Yeah, it's just one of those things that just kind of really helps in the morning. Most of the time in the morning I just don't have the time to wake up and make a cup, or I don't have a Keurig or whatever that those fast coffee makers are, but I just just go to my local coffee shop and just kind of get something on the go, and we head out to the job site. So hope everyone's having a good day so far. It is 8 o'clock, 8:16 to be exact this morning, and we're gonna do another little vlog, our second vlog. So go. Hope everyone enjoys it. Until then, we'll catch you at the job site. Here helping get rid of some battery acid stains on this client's driveway. They didn't want to clean the entire driveway, so we're only doing the half that's the worst or the most affected. We tried to negotiate with them, but they just said that they could just afford this half, but you can see how bad it is already, so we're not going to be doing any of this. And the thing with battery acid, guys, is that you need to be super careful. In all honesty, I wouldn't even want to step on this stuff, because battery acid from golf carts and golf cart communities is very, very toxic. It is just some really bad stuff. It gets into storm drains. You're looking at fines from the EPA or your homeowners association are looking at. Either party, you're looking at fines and things like that. Sorry, I got a spider web in my face. You're looking at fines of anywhere from $5,000 to $100,000 because this stuff is just so bad, and it's actually still active. When we clean this up, you're going to notice how it's probably eaten some of the concrete underneath it. So we're gonna just start getting set up here. We're gonna find our water source, which should be. See, don't want to step on it. Find our water source. Should be somewhere. But anyway, we're gonna set up, and we're gonna get this job done, and you're gonna see the before and after effects of what a professional power washing company can get done. Okay guys, we've been able to fill up our tank a little bit, enough just to get started. So we're gonna fire up the beast and get going. So this job really isn't gonna take too long, especially with our process and equipment. The longest part about this whole process is just the drying time. You don't want to step on it too much, because it is still active acid, and every time battery acid gets wet, it reactivates itself and it just spreads. You can see the trail. That's just the acid getting wet, going down into the storm drains. It's just not good. So always pre-wet it. So that it gives our soap a little extra get-go to have something to stick on. Oh yeah, that looks gross. Alright, and the nice thing about our detergent is that it's an alkaline based detergent, and it's very alkaline based. You won't want to get this stuff on your face like I did. And that's another story. What this does is that it actually neutralizes the acid from the battery stains here, and it can help negate any more future damage. You can't use things like baking soda because that just causes too many bubbles and it gives you a nightmare to deal with. So we're going to start this up. Nice and soapy. Nice and neutralized. And this isn't going to hurt any of the plants. And a good practice to get yourself into, or a practice that we use, is that we rinse down things that could have potentially been sprayed by the detergent. And we don't want it to spray down the plants nice and gently with water, spray the landscape. Be careful of those paper flowers, really fragile. You want to be mindful of overspray, like if you're getting close to a building, kind of spray in the opposite direction of the siding or what have you. And you don't even need to get this soap to, you know, get everywhere. You can, it's concentrated enough to where you can spread it around and it'll still work. There we go. So we're gonna let that dwell for, you know, a couple minutes, keeping it wet. We're gonna switch over to our surface cleaner, knock off whatever isn't engraved into the concrete, and let it dry. Okay, everyone, we've let the soap dwell for a little bit, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run it over with our surface cleaner, knock off any loose dirt, tire marks, what have you, off, so that we can open up the pores of the concrete when we apply our, you know, our battery stain fighter. It'll get as deep as it can. So, and you know, sometimes you may have to do the step once or twice. So it just depends on the stain and your judgment. So here we go. So the driveway is now completely dry, and we're going to apply our chemical now, and to find out more about this chemical, you know, give us a call, 760-709-6271, DC Dynamic Cleaning. Or if you want information about our services, you know, you can call us at DC, 760-709-6271. DCDynamicCleaning.com is our website. We have videos, testimonials from clients, all that good stuff. So this in this pump up sprayer is our special cleaner that takes care of battery acid stains. Step 1 is to pre-treat or pre-clean with professional grade surface equipment. And your average homeowner can't do this. Even if they have a power washer, they're not going to get the same effects that we can here. We got some good pumps. Alright, and you just apply. And the application rate, you should be going about as fast as 200 square feet per gallon. And in some of the hotter areas, you can give it a little bit more. So after you let this chemical work, and you want to go in the best way is circular motions, you get kind of a cross-hatching action. You see that foaming? That's good. So not only is it taking care of the battery acid spots, it's helping kind of revitalize the concrete, but that damage caused by the battery acid is irreversible unless you rip out your concrete and get it all resurfaced. One of the things that you can possibly do as an option is to use a diaphragm pump. SureFlow makes really good diaphragm pumps. FlowJet. I like SureFlow because they use chemical resistant valves and O-rings that can make a world of difference in this industry. So you want to make sure when you apply this that it's not running. And just keep at it. So this is step 2 of a 4-step process. Pardon me. Four-step process. And it's okay to step on it. You can step on it. We can guarantee a good 87 to 97% removal rate of this stuff. Another tip you want to keep in mind, these nozzles are quite fragile, super fragile. You'd be surprised how ridiculously fragile these things are. And so you want to make sure that you keep those in good condition. Don't set them on anything hard. Try to get a good place where you can store them, and just take care of them. With everything, maintenance is key. Maintenance is key. So remember that circle motion, even with the cone. And you wanted to use this with the cone-shaped applicator or sprayer tip. Fans we don't recommend, just because you can cause lines and you don't want to do that. So anyway, this is the first coat. Next we come by with the second coat, and you're going to be able to see kind of the difference already with what's happening so far. So we'll tune in until we're done with this first coat drying and come by the second coat and see what happens. Okay guys, so our first coat has dried pretty thoroughly. We're going to apply our second coat, and one of the things that I've found is that with these pump-up sprayers, you kind of use your chemical a little bit more efficiently than if you weren't using a pump-up sprayer. If you use something like an electric pump sprayer, the positive aspect of it is you're always going to have a consistent pressure, and that in itself is efficient. But if you have a 30 feet of hose at, let's say you have 3/4 of an inch hose or 1/2 inch hose, that's a lot of hose, and there's going to be chemical in that hose, and when you run out of chemical, you lose your pump, you lose your vacuum, and then you just have all this wasted chemical in your line, and you're pumping air through your hose, and that's something you really don't want to do. So what I would recommend for little small jobs like this, a pump-up sprayer would be perfectly fine. And you can even see I need to pump this thing up a little bit more. Oh, that's why. The twist there wasn't tight. There it goes. All right. It's leaking from the bottom here. Yeah, just a little bit. Anyway, there we go. That's the flow rate you want. So make sure you're very, you're pretty liberal. You're very generous with this product, and it'll do absolute wonders. And so, like I was talking to Lynn about, their next door neighbor, what can happen is if the stain has been here for quite some time, and trust me, this stain has been here for a long time, what can happen is, like I said, you're only going to be able to get 3 or 4 inches of penetration, and when the concrete gets wet, that's the only time you're going to be able to see the stain. And then that black stuff there, that's hard water. We can't get that out. That wasn't part of the price. So, chemical here. So we want to have this. And so, like I said, you're going to run into that, well, it's wet, and I can still see it. Well, that's where you explain to your client the whole process. So, try to use up the rest of this chemical here. Let this dry. We wet it one more time. And then when you wet it, you reactivate the chemical, you scrub it in gently, and then you inspect the results, and if you have to do it again, do it again. But 99% of the time, you only need to apply it twice. And again, remember, know what you're worth. Know what you're worth. this chemical is by no means cheap. That's why when people say, oh my goodness, really? Why do you charge so much? Well, you have fuel, you have insurance. You know, we're a serious, we're a dedicated business. And if you want to get a guy who will charge, you know, 30 bucks for battery acid stain removal for a 2-car driveway, then, you know, he's not going to be in business very long. So again, remember, always know what you're worth. Not everyone's going to be your customer. And just wash on. Just continue washing on. Be a good customer service. They provide great customer service, and that'll help you stand out from everyone else. Alright guys, so we're going to see how this turned out. Pretty soon we're going to let it dry and we'll see you soon. Okay, so we have let our chemical dry, and don't worry about this gross. I know it looks bad, but that's just the dried chemical on the top. Perfectly natural. That's actually a good sign. There's plenty of chemical on the floor. So, final step is to reset, and you can even see how, you know, that orange is gone. The gray is there because that's the battery acid eating away at your concrete. But if you compare it this side to this side, this looks nice and clean. This side looks, oh my goodness, you know. So what we're gonna do now is resaturate the surface with water. To do that, we got to turn on our nice little pressure washing rig here. And what I like to use the X-Jet to resaturate things. The 15-degree nozzle is nice, but you know, we like the X-Jet because it's got some range to it. So you're going to resaturate the surface. Nice, get it nice and wet, and then when you do that, surface nice and wet. When you do that, it's going to reactivate the chemical, and you don't want to use a lot of pressure. You just want to get it nice and saturated. So you can even turn the pressure all the way down. Get it nice and saturated. You don't want to wash it off, so I'm pointing kind of straight down at it. Nice and saturated. Then you're going to come around with a nice stiff, a flag got me in the face. Nice stiff deck brush or broom. You're going to broom it in. Guys, so as you can see, this acid stain came out real nice. It brightened it up quite a bit. It's this acid stain is just super severe. You can see the micro aggregate there. It's just probably one of the worst or harder driveways that we've had to clean. Though you'll notice how these black water stains have kind of encompassed and gone over some of the battery acid, and the only way to get to those is with acid washing. And the client just wanted to get as much as we could off. We did. This section came out great, and you know, it's great right here. You'll see the gray sections that have just been eaten away by the battery acid. That's why we recommend just washing everything down and maintaining it. And we have maintenance programs and things like that for every sort of property out there. So that was the vlog for today, guys. Hope you guys liked the video, guys.
just you know, if you have any questions, give us a call at 760-709-6271. This is our second vlog, so we'll talk to you later. Hope you have a great day, and keep power washing on, guys. Take care.
No.